In this movie, we're going to talk about how 360 video, VR, is going to change storytelling, or is changing storytelling. It's a really exciting time right now. I'd like to start this movie off with a couple inspirational quotes. VR is simply another step forward for content creators. We're now able to tell stories, keeping in mind that we could be inside an entirely new environment. We can ship people inside this sphere that they're in from one part of the country to another. We can tell deeply personal and moving stories. One of my favorite quotes comes from actually Chris Milk, and that's for virtual reality as a technology that could actually allow you to connect on a real human level, soul to soul, regardless of where you are in the world. And it's somewhat true of his stories and some of the stories I've seen in 360 video VR journalism of how personal and how we can feel like we're actually there with a person telling that story. So it is an exciting time in some cases because also we're all in the infant stages. Everyone's trying to figure out what virtuality is. Essentially, it is such a new medium that really there are some rules that have been written, but they're changing every day. And as you as a filmmaker, as a creator right now, if the one thing I want to tell you is just go out there and do it, because you're going to have to figure out how to tell a VR story, as in this is just going to keep on going and growing and growing. So the first thing I want to draw your attention to is the lovely creators of this course have a wonderful blog. You can go to mettle.com/blog and see some customer stories. You can read some behind the scenes interviews of some of the most incredible 360 VR content being created. So check out some of these case studies. One in particular I want to draw your attention to is the 360 degree Thailand Find Your Journey by Perception Squared. One of the people who owns Perception Square, Connor Hare, actually has donated some of the footage that you guys are using in this course, and you can see his immersive story about Thailand, or the Tourism Authority for Thailand, as well as he has another lower down on the list called My Brother's Keeper, that was a short film that debuted at Sundance. So on top of this, the Mettle blog, I'm going to just talk from a personal perspective. A couple of things I've seen that have just really, I would say, kept my attention into the possibilities of VR. One is called Smile More. It's the journey of a song. Fantastic video. You can just Google this in and you'll be able to see it on YouTube with an appropriate browser. Another few of my favorites, one happens to be Behind the Fence from an incredible VR company or 360 company called RYOT. It is a very difficult story to watch, but some of the things that are coming out in the documentary format are just mind-blowing. And I suggest that you take a look and to see what could be possible with amazing VR storytelling techniques. Finally, I've got this lovely experience from USA Today where we get to follow the journey of a wing walker who is immersed in air, and we get to experience that all within this 360 degree environment. If I were to give you guys a couple things to walk away with from this movie, is that VR is a relatively new platform, expected to change day by day. And the best way to start telling your amazing VR immersive stories is to go out there and do it. Get inspired, grab a camera, go out there and film, and show us what you got.